ActiMates Barney is one of the standouts of Barney lore that really needs no introduction, but I'm sure gonna talk about it anyway. Microsoft's foray into educational toys gave us a Barney that could interact on multiple levels, be it as a standalone plush, a viewing companion, and an educator. While those first two are pretty well represented in the fandom, especially when it comes to the interactive Barney videos, that last aspect, Barney as an educational PC companion, has kind of slipped under the radar a little. So today, let's take it back to 1997 for a closer look at ActiMates Barney. In February 1997, ActiMates Barney was unveiled to the public with much fanfare at New York's annual toy fair. Rick Thompson, the VP of Microsoft's hardware division and the original creator of the ActiMates project, said that Barney would break new ground in early learning, and he was certainly onto something. The standalone Barney toy has a vocabulary of 2,000 words and plays 12 games and 17 songs stored within his 2-megabyte memory. While that's not much, this photo I took is 2.2 megabytes, it wasn't something to scoff at in the 90s. This is where the PC pack and the video pack come in. Quickly speaking on the video side, this edition gave Barney about 2,000 more words and the ability to interact with specially encoded Barney home videos, and more impressively, live PBS broadcasts of the show with the signal. Most of the hype around ActiMates originates here, and for good reason. It's innovative, and it's got a lot of return value, even now. And if you've seen a Barney VHS, you have seen an ActiMates sticker. Back on the computer, it's a little bit of a different story. 4 ActiMates-compatible Barney PC games were made, and they fall into 2 categories: ActiMates Exclusive and ActiMates Optional. Barney's Fun on Imagination Island, the pack-in game, is the only title that, rather obviously, requires an ActiMates Barney to run. A pretty small exclusive library. Can you call it a library if it's just the one? But it's got some pretty cool features. Fun on Imagination Island is an edutainment game that's very much in the vein of your Jumpstart and Reader Rabbit games, but as mentioned, the ActiMates element really kicks the interactivity up a notch. As shown in this clip from Microsoft Xtreme, the ActiMates plush is able to play a game of peekaboo not only with the player, but with the in-game Baby Bop, who reacts accordingly. If you've ever fought with getting a printer to work properly with Windows, this is going to look immensely impressive. Barney can also initiate songs and serves pretty well as a computer guide for younger players. You may have noticed that all the clips of this game are from secondary sources. That's something we will come back to later. The other 3 titles, Barney Goes to the Circus, Barney's Fun on the Farm, and Barney Under the Sea, can be played without an ActiMates setup, and Barney, like the other characters, is represented with on-screen 2D animation. Animation that is, in my opinion, really nice. Compared with the pure hodgepodge of 2009's Secret of the Rainbow, seeing some iconic Barney characters, especially fan-favorite Professor Tinkerput, in this form is really neat. Something I've been meaning to point out for a while about all these games is that, while each boasts a different theme and has one new game host character, they're the same. They're literally the same. Each has a place to watch clips of Barney songs, proto-YouTube, a game hosted by the Barney Gang, and new character Hootenanny, a fun owl also played by Julie Johnson, and a selection of original songs written for each game. Now, I don't think this is a problem. I don't think most of the kids who played these games had more than one, their favorite theme, but it's interesting to note regardless. It does illuminate how exactly they were able to get all these games out so quickly. So, despite being effectively reskins, you can still see plenty of effort put in. One of my favorite shared elements of the ActiMates games is the Parents Room, which collates information from each game you have installed, and contains a myriad of advice, suggested learning activities, and even a recommended reading list for young learners. It also, quite amusingly, collects the GIFs that players can make and then send to their folks using the activity modes in the games. I think it's a neat touch that if you're too young to type, your name comes up as Barney's friend. I can type though, so you can see what I got up to when I was testing this out. Appetizing. So, let's kick it back to Imagination Island again, and the most glaring problem of ActiMates Barney. It takes so much to run. The game won't even open without detecting a MIDI port, which my virtual machine obviously does not have. When I mean to tell you that I've tried to get around this, I have tried. You are essentially marooned, that's an island joke, to requiring pre-1998 technology. You not only need a whole computer with a MIDI port, but a compatible sound card in addition to everything you need to have on the ActiMates side. I know not everyone still has a VCR, but compared to setting up a Windows 95 build for one game, it makes it easier to see why the video pack has stood the test of time better. It's also just got a lot of more rewatchability. Most Barney fans, unless you're me and you enjoy concocting whatever this is, are going to get more out of watching a home video with some extra Barney dialogue than they will playing a learning game. I think it's important that at the very least, these games, and ActiMates Barney's PC interactivity, are remembered for being a pretty impressive sign of the times that did genuinely care about representing Barney in the digital sphere in both a positive and educational light. Some of these songs are really neat, and even if you've never played, I think the merit shines through, whether you have a MIDI port or not. As always, if you're looking to learn more, don't forget to check out my friends at Barney Wiki and Barney History Fans. Thanks for watching.